while I tell you a story about how my two favorite ducks, Donald and Daisy, helped out on a very famous boat ride. But just like before, you'll know it's time to turn the page when you hear this sound. Ready? Let's begin. When Daisy heard the sound of Noah's horn, she knew it was time to head for the ark. Noah was calling two animals of every kind from around the world. Quickly, she gathered her things and put on the locket that held the picture of her and Donald. Donald was supposed to help Noah get the animals on board the ark. But where was he? Donald was in the backyard, resting. Noah stomped up to Daisy's house. "Donald," he shouted, "the animals have to be on the ark before it starts to rain." Rain? Donald laughed. It was a bright, sunny day. There was lots of time to get ready. Then it started to pour. Donald skedaddled for the ark just as two turtles were crossing his path. He tripped and landed in a puddle. As Daisy gave him her handkerchief, her special locket slipped off and fell in the puddle. Donald fished it out and gave it back to her. Daisy kissed him and sweetly waved goodbye. Donald marched over to the animals and pointed to the ark. "Get on," he said. "No," they answered. They did not want to get on the boat. But just then, there was a huge clap of thunder, and the animals raced to get in line. Donald checked off each pair of animals as they arrived. The hippos, the birds, the beavers. But then he came to Daisy. Where was she? Daisy was just about to start up the ramp when she saw an elephant nearly crush a pair of little gray mice. But Daisy scooped them up and then followed the elephant up the ramp. Donald couldn't see her, and anxiously he climbed over the top of the elephant to look for her. As soon as Daisy got inside the ship, she looked for Donald. She opened a window just in time to see Donald running toward their home. A huge wave was about to crash over it. She saw the little house get swept away. Donald had disappeared. Well, Donald had managed to grab hold of the door to the ark just as it was closing, but Daisy never saw him come in. Each of them thought the other hadn't made it into the ark. In the belly of the ship, Donald tried to keep the woodpeckers from drilling holes in the walls. The ark rocked back and forth, and the animals slid from one end to the other. After 40 days and 40 nights, it finally stopped raining. The sun broke through the clouds, and all the animals burst onto the deck for a breath of fresh air. But the ark was so big that Donald and Daisy still hadn't seen each other. Donald was trying to follow Noah's orders to send out a dove to look for dry land. Donald gave the dove a huge heave-ho. The female bird started to cry. That made Donald remember Daisy. He thought he'd never see her again. The female dove flew to the other side of the ship and landed next to Daisy. All the other animals were in pairs. The giraffes and the zebras nuzzled, and the penguins cuddled. Just then, the dove returned with a branch from an olive tree. Donald went below deck to get the ship ready for landing. The floodwaters started to sink, and the boat went spinning around and around, and then there was a bump. The off a plank and through an open window. He grabbed the tail of the crocodile and grabbed the tail of the snake. The snake wrapped itself around a post and Donald was yanked back into the ark. Daisy heard a bang against the window. She looked out, but no one was there. And then it was time for the animals to leave the ark. Donald stood at the doorway directing traffic, but one of the hippos stepped on his toe. Then an elephant stepped on his head, and Donald fell through the floor just before Daisy went by. Slowly, Daisy walked down the ramp. Her head was hung in sorrow. She reached for her locket again and felt only the broken string. The last to leave the boat was Noah and his wife. Noah gave Donald a grateful pat on the head. Sadly, Donald began to sweep up. Something gold caught his eye. He reached for it. Another hand, like his own, reached for it too. He looked up. It was Daisy. Daisy had found her locket and her beloved Donald. She leaped with joy and gave him a great big hug and a kiss. They walked off the ark to make a new home for themselves, right over there, under the rainbow.
That's the end. Hope you enjoyed.